Well, earlier today I was streaming and I don't know exactly what happened. Did a nice tribute to Orion, Chords of Orion there, and I'm not sure I'm not sure how much of it took or what part of my lesson cut off. I just noticed that it wasn't playing anymore. So that being said, here we are. Hi everybody, Mind's Eye Visual Guitar Methods here. Kind of going live for no real reason today, just other than that I've got to get out and drive some untold miles to get a delivery over to Indianapolis, Indiana from somewhere in western New York. So I got 9 to 10 hours of driving ahead of me, depending on the weather, and so I guess all I'll do in the couple minutes I'm going to be on here is tell you how I was noodling over this pattern yesterday, and I didn't even realize here comes a bit of a song. Okay, so a real butchered version there, a horribly butchered version there of Xanadu for you Rush fans who picked that up. Right in the pattern I was playing yesterday. Maybe Alex at one time said, "Hey, what are all these 5-chord tones I need to know?" How do they fit into the scale? He was only added in one note, and that was the of the E resolve there. Leaving out the only thing we're kind of leaving out is the 6th there of the scale. So, just a lot of noodling you can do just on a shape like that. Just messing around with chord tones. I'm gonna. If you liked how that went up the scale, what was the magic to that? Well, all we were doing is arpeggiating 2 chord shapes. That's why that all sounded good together. Here's an A major kind of triad bit, B major triad bit. Once again, this is a bit of A major. So is this. So it's the A from the cage shaped. This is based on E from the cage shaped. And then the B and the E from the cage shape. That's based rest on the C shape. There we land on the E, and here we land on the B again. A from the K shape. So C, A. We're skipping A is also to be considered the G shape. So there's the G encaged, and then the back to the E shape. And C is related to the, which we can't play, it's way up here. C and D are kind of jumbled together, attached to each other, so that's just bits of caged. Once we found our resolve, it gave us a little freedom to add in some uber tension by playing a note that's not in the scale. The reason I think it kind of works is that it's the next interval that you're playing. When you play this, major third, so it's kind of a happy interval, and then it's going up to that second away from that first, from that, hard to explain, but something I was talking about earlier when my live stream was mysteriously over is how to find the key to any song using one string. I'll tell you that in this lesson. So what I drew here is basically it's about intervals. I guess I got into this by was telling people that there's 3 pentatonic scales. I'll go off on a tangent here in a little bit. There's basically 3 pentatonic scales in every major scale. So I'm going to play the same exact pentatonic shape, not one of the 5 versions of one. So for example, here's a pentatonic shape. The blues box, 1 4 1 3 1 3 1 3 1 4 1 4. Now you can play that up with all the different shapes. That was all the same pentatonic box using the 5 different shapes. There was 1 fret up there by accident. But anyways, but not that. There's 3 of the exact same box in the major scale. So for example, I'm going to play a low E note here. I'll drone a low E note, and 3 pentatonic of the same pentatonic boxes should sound okay. None of these notes should clash. Let's try it. If that has that happy country morning sound, that's because that's the E major pentatonic. Try another one. There's the blues box. Sounds good. Try it in another spot. Here. with those Eric Johnson 5s, but let's play one that it won't sound good, I think. Let's try this one. I don't know. So see, they don't always work, but these three do. Now let's go minor, which is a different scale set, but this one will also work. Three major and three minor ones that work. And that's because there's two basic scales that are going to work over E. It's major and minor. So for major, basically now these pentatonic shapes, why are there three of them that'll work in either major or minor? Because there's three well, I guess there really isn't a sensible way to do a because, but there's just so happens that the only thing you're missing are the half steps in a pentatonic. Pentatonic is all either whole steps or the flat third leap there. When you go 1-4, 1-4, that's a flat third, or it's more of a leap. And then you have a step, a regular step, a whole step. Now, a smaller step is a half step. And that's all that's missing. There's two half steps missing from a pentatonic scale to create a major scale. And so there's the Aeolian scale is the pentatonic with gut notes. The gut notes are the half steps. Half step, half step, half step. Bringing the scale down a little bit. Same with Dorian. Gut notes inside the, I call them gut notes because here they're inside the big box. Call both of those at the bottom where they're your 1-4, 1-4. It leaves notes inside there available, so you got. So the Dorian. So those are all those pentatonic shapes come because they're the frameworks around three scales found in the three shapes. Let's just say, just not call them scales because the whole key is a scale, right? So just there's three shapes you can parse out, because you're dissecting the whole. Let's consider always think of your a major key. Start like this. Songs have a key. Most of them are major or minor. It's a major scale. The scale is the whole fretboard. When you play a little bit, they call that a scale, but you're parsing out a little section of the entire scale because you have 4 fingers and they can play in a nice box up and down the strings, right? So it stands to reason that since the minor scale is the same as the major scale, it's really just a mode of the major scale. For all intents and purposes, just to make it easy, you can consider it a mode of the major scale. And so it uses the same framework, hence that's why there's going to be 3, whether you're in major or minor. They're different, but I always start with the Aeolian shape. I notice I'm not drawing anything out today. That's because, well, actually, it's drawn right here. There's the, there's the Aeolian, so you can see the outer framework of a pentatonic here. I'll just make a line. And then you have the gut notes inside. If you put E, this is your minor scale, this is your major scale. I remember from a lesson a couple days ago, just watch 2 live streams back, maybe 3. You'll see the 3 pentatonic boxes and how you can understand all the modes with 3 pentatonic boxes. But anyways, getting back to the original topic here, I guess. There was my tangent. You can see now how these pentatonic boxes, the 3 of them that exist, only to get to a major scale, all you have to do is add in the half steps. What are the half steps in a scale? Your scale, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, that the simple thing that all this great music is made out of, believe it or not, is 3 whole steps followed by 4 whole steps. Just the same way as the white keys on a piano are surrounded by 2 black keys and then 3 black keys. This blank boxes on this paper would be the black keys. Don't play those. So if you were playing a song and you just had 1 string on your guitar, you could still find the scale of that song just by trying to find this pattern, the 3 and the 4. So let's say I found 3 notes that work together. Well, those work in my song. They sound good. They're not clashing with any of the other music. Maybe the vocal melody is doing something with those. Okay, so I have some options there. If I, let's say from here, I experiment down, and I go down. Let me get on camera here. And I go down. So here I'm on these black dots right here. What's that? E, or sorry, A, B, and C sharp. If I go down a whole step and it sounds good, I just found my 4, and I know my root note is always this guy right here. My bad. I messed that up. The root note is always this guy here. Or this guy here. So either way, if I found my 4 that work, hear how that went? You can hear the scale right there. So what might also happen is that I go down the scale and I find a half step. I've only got one other option, that at the other end of the 3, there's either going to be a half step, and I found I'm in my do, re, mi, and then my 1 is going to be here. Or I found that there's a whole step at the end. And there's my root note there on the E. So if there was a half step there, there's my root note on A. You can even hear it resolve pleasantly to that root note. And now, if you know, it still might be, even though that's the root note of the parent scale, it might be, you know, going modal and riffing on one of these other notes here as the strong tone, but you'll at least know the parent scale you're dealing with, and then you'll know if it's perhaps a modal piece you're listening to, or something that's jamming on one of the accentuating one of the chords based on the 5 chord, based on the 4 chord, based on the 2 chord. That's not out of the question. Songs based on the 3 chord, not so popular, not so common unless you're jamming some Metallica. If you can't find this pattern at all, you're probably listening to Fear the Reaper by Blue Oyster Cult and trying to figure that one out. I think that's in harmonic minor or something. And then if you're listening to jazz, you might find a melodic minor structure that is going so fast over so many different chords, you're not going to worry about one scale for the whole song anyways. That's chord tone stuff. Different ballpark altogether, but pop music and rock music, jamming with chords. Rush, Pink Floyd, Neil Young, gonna find probably Tom Petty. You're gonna find a major scale somewhere. That being said, there's another key point here, and that is these half steps actually make this a lot easier. Going up and down one scale, looking for the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4 is not bad. But also, once you find a half step, or let's say you just picked one note that sounded good, you're like, okay, that's in there, and then you find out you've got a half step. You've got, from there, you're right on top of finding the scale within 4 notes. So you're going to have, basically, if you were on the E string, the low string, and you found those, you've basically found these two, you're either here or you're here. How do you know which way you are? Well, one of 2 things is going to happen from there. If I was on the E string and I found a half step that sounded good, I'm going to go right above it and test if this half step is good. And if it is, at that moment, I've just identified myself as in the Dorian cage. What's the Dorian cage? It's a pentatonic with all the gut notes that make it up as Dorian. And it's the squares, found my navigation square as well. Look at my other videos on the channel if you don't know what that is yet, if you're brand new here. From that navigation square, I can arpeggiate all my chords. Like, am I on the 1? I'm on the 6, 2, 3, 4, 5. Added in the 7th there. That's the 7th of the 5 note. 5 chord, sorry. 6 we did. Now we'll do the 7th. See how good the 1 sounded after you play the 7th? That's why they say the 7th always leads into the 1, because it does. We have that tritone begging for resolve. You have that major interval right there. That being said, you might find that you play this half step. So we're back to trying to find we're listening to a song, we're trying to find the key it's in, and we found a half step on the fretboard on the low E string. That sounds good, and we play the top one, and it's not in the, just something is wrong. Basically, this note sounds like crap. So what we're going to find here is that we have, that's what's going to sound good. It's the only other option in the major scale. You're going to have the half step and the other half step is going to be over on this side. And at that moment, you've once again found yourself, there's your navigation square, although it's broken, but you're in what's known as what I'll call the Aeolian Box, because it starts with a pentatonic box shape, and it's going Aeolian. Half steps will help you out. There's only 2 of them in the major scale, and you can use those as location beacons. Well, I really wanted to be able to be driving down the road and say that because I'm not going to get back to this internet connection for another month or 2, and I'm also thinking about losing this apartment, and if I do, because I'm just not here as much anymore, I'm going to lose this great internet connection that's I just figured out today how to get it to stop buffering. There was something about keyframes that I didn't know anything about, but I was getting a warning on YouTube about them, and just Googled it, found out what I needed to change in OBS Studio, which is what I do this with. OBS Studio gets me the double picture here, and I was able to get this up and running, and now it just says locked on excellent connection, and it looks like I am getting what I'm paying for, which is a fiber optic connection. Super, like, incredible upload speeds. It's out of the ballpark when it comes to the other providers, the phone company or the cable company. So I wanted to get on here and just kind of do something, but I didn't know what to talk about, so that's basically what I gave you today, how to find any key. Without a lot of drawing. Sorry, I was kind of low on drawing, but we were just kind of getting on here impromptu. So anyways, my friends, I guess I'll leave it with that since I'm down to just rambling here. I appreciate anyone who stumbles upon this. I see nobody kind of made it here, but it's Super Bowl Sunday. Maybe everybody's getting ready for the Super Bowl. I think it's Super Bowl Sunday. You know, I never get that right because, well, I don't watch football. And I've got work to do today. I'll be driving anyway, so. Anyways, my friends, I'll talk to you soon. Yeah. Have a great day. Thank you for watching. We'll get out of here now. I see 2 people came and watched, so that's pretty cool. You can say something in the chat box. I'm actually checking out the chat box right now just to see if anybody is saying anything, but it looks like 1 person is viewing, so that's probably me. So, alright. We'll talk to you soon. Bye. I'll give you 10 seconds to say something. Here, I'll do this live ambient Chords of Orion type of jam using this scale here. We'll go back to these notes here and check the 7 shits on screen. Yeah. So, check out Chords of Orion's channel. Great channel. That was a poor man's version of Chords of Orion. Just a volume sweep kind of setting with a touch of reverb. He's got an immensely built sound for that kind of stuff with a lot more reverb and a lot more coolness to it. But as you can see, the chords to kind of noodle around to make that congruent kind of spacey noodling is can be found with this major scale. And for the most part, I was arpeggiating the seventh chord and using bits of E major in there. That's the green circles there, the E major triad. We had a low E droning, but we were playing our scale with our we were playing the E. We were based on E major, but we had it was kind of a more of a suspended chord. So with the A ringing out too, it gave it like a touch of Lydian there. So, anyways, everybody have a great Sunday, and we'll talk to you soon here on the channel. Wish me luck out there on the road, and yeah, we'll go from there.